Here's my latest project. It's a 2007 Ford F250 extended cab 4x4 with a 6-liter Powerstroke. Originally picked this truck up as a parts truck to do a coil spring conversion on my Ford Excursion. But after getting it home, seeing the condition of it, the body, the inside, we decided we wanted a pickup. Since this is only extended cab, I need 4 full-size doors. So we're gonna flip it, fix it up, and then look for a 4-door to pick up. All the parts you see in the hood there were actually in the bed of the truck. That radiator's out of my Excursion. I did a Mishimoto upgrade, but I moved everything from the bed of the truck to the under the hood just to protect it until I could get the truck into the shop. Now I got the truck in the shop, we're going to start working on it. So the mechanic that I bought it from, he said that it blew the EGR cooler. They tore it down, confirmed the problem, and decided they just wanted to replace the truck. So looking at it, check the coolant. There's no signs of oil contamination. The oil has no signs of coolant contamination. They do have the green coolant in there, so they had the wrong stuff in there, which probably shows the fact that the oil cooler is plugged and the EGR cooler overheated and ruptured. So right now we're going to tear it down. I want to pull the heads off, make sure the cylinders aren't damaged. There's no rust, corrosion, scoring, anything like that, to make sure before I start ordering parts. Otherwise, it may end up staying as a parts truck. So stay tuned. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I pulled everything out from underneath the hood of the truck that's been taken off. It was loose. I went ahead and put 2 batteries in it to see how many miles on it, because I didn't even know yet. And I was pleasantly surprised. It's only got 167,000 miles on it, which is pretty low for a diesel, so we're excited about that. There are a few items missing, the batteries, turbo, and they disconnected 6 of the injectors. And the middle clips are missing from there, so I'll have to source those out if I don't find them in the valley or somewhere in the truck. Not a big deal, still excited. Uh, the turbo, they had a remanufactured, they wanted to sell me extra for more than what I can buy a new one from Garrett, so chose not to go that route. I'll be putting a new turbo on there. I don't like to reman turbos on these Powerstrokes, so. And I got batteries that I pulled out of my Excursion that will work, so that's good there. My plan is to do a ARP stud kit with gaskets and remote oil cooler, remote oil filter. But first, I still gotta, like I said earlier, I need to tear it down, inspect them cylinders, check the cylinder heads, make sure it's good to go. Once we find that out, then I can start ordering some parts and build it. I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing turns out, if it's salvageable. I sure hope so, because the truck's in really good condition. So let's get to work and start tearing this thing down. Okay, so I got the driver's side head off. As you can see, cylinders look good, no scoring. You still see the crosshatch. So let's get started on the passenger side, get that one off. All right, got the passenger side off. Sorry about the lighting. The sun's going down. We got limited light here, so, but this one, cylinders look good. Still see cross-hatching and no scoring on this side either, so I'm excited. The passenger side actually was easier than the driver's side. I actually enjoyed getting this cylinder head off, so everything's going well, and I'm excited. I'm going to cover everything up, get it put away, it's protected so nothing falls in there, for the night, and I can get started on it in the morning. Probably go and start ordering some parts now that I know the engine's salvageable. So stay tuned. In the morning, we'll get started on this. Finish tearing it down. All right, so we're in the morning now. Ordered some parts. Kind of go over what I'm going to do on this project here. So I'm going to go ahead and put ARP studs in it, Ford factory head gaskets. I'm going to run a bulletproof oil or EGR cooler because I will be flipping it. I want to keep the smog equipment intact. I went ahead and removed the fan and shroud assembly. It gave me more room just to work around there. Made it a lot nicer. And I also want to pull the water pump out to inspect that, make sure there's no damage to the impeller. They are prone to cracking and breaking. So we'll check that. I'm going to replace thermostat, serpentine belt, hoses. So go through it real thorough. I'll be pulling the high pressure oil pump out. Going to do the STC fitting upgrade along with the upgraded dummy plugs and stam pipes. So that'll eliminate the problem with those. The engine looks fairly stock. I don't think it's been touched. So just going to make sure all the Ford updates are done on it. My plan is to remove that oil filter assembly and put my own custom remote oil filter on there. I'm going to use a thermostat because I do live up in the mountains and it gets cold in the wintertime. It'll be an American made oil cooler, and I want to mount a remote fan on that oil cooler so at low speeds or on trail riding I can still maintain my oil temperature. I'm not dependent on airflow going through it down the highway. In addition to that, I want to do a remote oil cooler. I'm sorry, a remote oil filter with a built-in oil bypass filter. So got some good ideas on that. It'll be all plumbed in. Should look good. Still haven't ordered everything. If you noticed at the beginning of the video, it's missing the front bumper, headlight, and grill header. So I'll be sourcing those as well. I already priced them out, so it's not bad. So all that will be new on the front of the truck. And this thing will be good. I'm going to keep it smog compliant so I can flip it. Some of the counties around I live require smog check. Mine doesn't. And then I'm close to California, so I want to open it up to potential buyers. So stay tuned. Okay, I got the oil cooler assembly out. You can see where the screen was, that little screen, just like typical Powerstroke, 6 liters, that screen was damaged, so that'll be addressed as well in my design. Got the high pressure oil pump out. I'm going to be updating it. So went ahead and covered everything up real good so I don't drop anything down inside the engine. All right, so some of my parts started showing up. Still waiting on quite a bit others, but I just figured I'd show what I got so far. I decided to go with the bulletproof adapter plate for the oil cooler, just their plate, just due to timing. Don't have a lot of time on this project and logistics. I went ahead and went with this one. It's set up for the remote oil cooler and the remote oil filter setup. So this is actually surprisingly quite a heavy piece of metal, so I'm pretty impressed with it. I'm also going to do the bulletproof EGR cooler. As I said, I wanted it to be smog compliant, and this is probably the best one out there that I've found so far. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up on it. Some of the other parts I have the exhaust, one of the exhaust V-band clamps. I'll be getting the other ones in as they come. I got the IPR. I'm going to replace that since I pulled out the HPOP pump already. I got my STC fitting kit, so I can make sure that's up to date. I got the updated turbo oil drain tube. Also, while I'm waiting on parts, I went ahead and dropped the oil pan. So I got the oil pan gasket. I want to see the inside of the bottom end. It looks really good. No signs of anything in the oil pan that concerns me, so I'm happy about that. So I'll put a new seal on the oil pan. Also got 8 glow plugs. Since I got a tore apart, I'm gonna replace them. And then also my ARP studs. So I got those in. Still waiting on the head gaskets. They should be in probably about 2 or 3 days, and then the rest of the parts are going to be showing up over the next week. So stay tuned. I'm excited about this project. Thanks for watching.